Hi, here I am, off the drawing session. This is everything I need. And I'll review all of the items that I have and use for drawing, particularly life drawing, which is how I like to connect the eye, the mind and the hand, how I have liked to connect the eye, the mind and the hand over the last 40 years by regularly drawing from life. But I could, instead of drawing the human figure, I could be drawing objects or drawing a landscape, whatever. So here's what I bring with me. I've got a little portfolio. You don't need that, you just need to carry your drawing board really. I have an easel. These are super easels. They cost under $100. And I could set them up to sit at, but of course I don't want to sit, I want to stand. There we go. Here's the easel. Set up. This easel, you can actually have it set up like this, straight up, but you can also tilt it if you're doing watercolor. You know, have your board on here and you can work on it flat if you're a watercolor painter. It's called a watercolor easel. So there's my easel set up. In my portfolio I have various types of paper. That's a better quality paper for longer poses. I really like newsprint. You know, I don't get messed up about messing something up. It's cheap. And really, I'm just drawing for practice, right? I'm not trying to create a masterpiece. And I have a drawing board. Now, my drawing board is just a I forget the name of this stuff, this kind of corrugated plastic that was in fact once a sign of the times. Now, a lot of people, I don't advise this. A lot of people come into drawing class and if there's tables there, they will sit down and, I've got some items here, they will plunk their drawing board on the table and proceed to draw. But of course, when you do that, you're looking down your drawing surface with a strong, forced perspective because of your point of view. So what you're going to tend to do if you're drawing, for example, a person, is create a cephalopod. A figure with an extremely large head, and you know, because of the way things are distorted, and then when you tilt it upright, you'll have this extremely large head and then these shriveled nether regions. Doesn't sound very good, does it? So if you must sit, and I don't advise it, if you must sit, you should sit like this and prop your drawing board up on your knees or between your knees. And now I can look at my subject, I can measure angles and proportions and draw in a formal and considered way. Another way of working, a lot of art schools, and I used to like them, they have drawing horses. They're essentially a bench. I don't have one, I used to own one. They're essentially a bench that you can sit on, and this wouldn't be here, but you would have an area that you can lean your board on. And then you can sit comfortably, have your drawing materials in front of you, there's your subject, model or still life, whatever, and you can measure angles, transfer them to your drawing. You can get up and step back and have a look. But I think that the preferred, certainly my preferred mode of drawing or position for drawing is standing at an easel. And this is absolutely ideal. I mean, I can, if I'm drawing that box, I hope you can see that box there, I can tilt the easel so that I can see the box, I can measure angles, transfer them across, I can step back. I mean, it's an energetic allure. You're not slouching over, you are engaged, you're standing, you can step back and look at your subject and your drawing together, and errors in your drawing will be revealed easily. This, you can parry and thrust. This is, without doubt, the preferred way to draw. And anybody who is a disciplined, focused individual should want to take their drawing seriously enough to stand up and at an easel. I'll quickly fill you in on some of the materials that I'm using. I carry everything with me in my back pocket usually. I have a knife. I bring a retractable Stanley knife. The fact that it's retractable, I mean, if it wasn't retractable, you know, I'd put it in my pocket. Ooh, ow! It would be, you know, if you put it in your front pocket, it could be seriously damaging. But it retracts. And so I bring that. And with that I can sharpen my crayons. I'm going to come over and show you these things. I have a little tin. And it's full of compressed charcoal. And Conte crayon. Now I really like this stuff, General's compressed charcoal, and I like the rich stuff. I like to draw heavy and hard. But for a lighter touch, a little greasier, you can use Conte. This is, you know, Conte Paris. It's French. This is a sanguine, you know, sort of like what the Renaissance masters used to use for crayon. It's a sanguine one, but I prefer the black generally. You know, the darkest, richest black that I can get. I also use this. This is a Crater Color crayon holder. No, it's a Kohenol, made in Czechoslovakia, but it holds Crater Color crayons, which you buy in a little box. And again, I like the darkest one. It's a little harder than and less soft than Conte, but it's beautiful for sketchbooks. And you can just load, this is just the remaining bit of a crayon, you can load them in this drawer, and the whole thing will disappear inside, and you can put it in your pocket and not make a mess. I also like, I've only got one left, you buy these Derwent pencil stub holders. You get two, at a very good price. One will hold a Conte crayon, like this, and the other will hold a stick of, you know, just square compressed charcoal, the type that General's makes. And again, you can loosen it up, put your compressed charcoal in, tighten it up. You know, you can make the charcoal longer or shorter, and you have a stylus with which you can measure angles and proportions. I'll show you how to do that in a later episode. So that's what I like to use. Have I got everything here? Oh, now you need this. I mean, you really, really, really need this. This is a kneaded eraser. And, you know, it can get dirty, you know, like that, whatever, and you can clean it. You know, look, see the dirt coming off. Dirty by erasing, and then you knead it, pull it like this, and it cleans up, and you can model it and form it so that if you were working with charcoal, I don't have charcoal here, but most types of charcoal, even compressed charcoal, you can almost actually draw into, you know, with creating a light line on a dark background. You can chisel in working on a face and lift areas. So this is absolutely a valuable tool. I mean, other erasers are good too. So that is, here's my newsprint, everything's covered. Okay, we'll come back shortly with another session.